Alright, Danny, if you want to watch the ending of Dark Souls 3, or at least me trying to attempt to do it, let me know. You hear that, chat? I don't count. Am I going to play with you? Interesting prospect, Danny. It depends. What do you have? Oh, Titanfall 2, but that's my most prominent one. The only online games I have like that is Titanfall 2, and like fighting games. No, I said like the only online games I have like that is Titanfall 2 and fighting games. We are teleporting. Kill the first flame. Travel to Dragheap. Interesting. Wonder why they would have the bonfire there to allow me to go to Dragheap. Very interesting. I don't know why I would want that, but I guess if I never got to go there before, I don't know. Look at that. We are here. The end. Oh, and we just start. Oh, alright. That's doing a lot of damage to him, to be honest. Okay. Okay, he's... Yeah, I know, now he's gonna go into the second phase. That was not what they were talking about. Damn, I thought I dodged it. Whoa, okay. Just one, Danny. First try! Yeah! I have done it! Yes! Yes, Danny. All the milk. All of it. All of it. He was kind of crazy, but I see what, like, people were saying, whereas, like, especially if you already played the DLC, he ain't shit to those other bosses, Danny. Like, he hits hard, but, like, me just hitting him in general, I was doing way more damage to him than the other bosses. But in his defense, he's the last boss of the main game, and I beat both of the DLCs, so I'm buffed for this part of the game. Time for sacrifice. Praise the fine work. Ash visions of fire. I wouldn't say that, but... Now let me, before I do anything else, let me make sure I'm doing the ending correctly. Because there's an specific ending I want. So let me make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. Okay, yeah, so they're just saying afterwards just touch the fire and it should take you. Look at me in my glorious Dragon Slayer armor. Fire is so faint. The fuck? What happened? Oh, I guess I knocked out. The moon has turned a different shade. I am the usurper of fire.
Gracious Lord, make London whole.
You finally did it, Danny. You finished Dark Souls 3. Round of applause. Round of applause. Finish this goddamn game finally. Danny, what am I hearing? Oh, the Rick and Morty thing. Okay. This was easily one of the more fast-paced Souls games I played. Well, I don't want to say easily, because Nioh was fast as hell, and so was Bloodborne. But definitely when it comes to Dark Souls for the first 3 games, not counting Demon Souls, because I haven't played it yet, this is definitely the fastest one. I can't say that it was the absolute hardest one. I felt like I made it harder on myself because of the weapons I was using and the pace I was going at. It's not conducive to how fast the game is in comparison to the first two. Because it literally has the speed of Bloodborne, but it's Dark Souls. So it's like, it's an interesting mixture, takes some getting used to. You're just gonna get comboed to death sometimes. I would say the bosses were pretty good. They were varied. They were, some of them were really hard to me, like the tree, the rotten tree. The Demon King was hard. The old Demon King, sorry, was a little hard for me. Who else? Nameless King, of course, but he's hard for everybody. I'm just trying to think of like notable main game ones that were difficult. Champion Gundyr was very hard and annoying. Definitely needed help with that one. Crystal Sage was just annoying. It wasn't necessarily hard per se. He was just very annoying. Kept teleporting and had different copies of himself. What other ones were like especially hard that I could think of? Abyss Watchers, yes, they were definitely hard. I could only imagine if I fought them by myself how hard it'd be. Deacons of the Deep were a little annoying, but not too hard. I struggled with Wolnir, High Lord Wolnir. I kept getting killed by the darkness or just by his fucking arm swings. Pontiff Sullivan was difficult as hell. I'm glad I did that with Anthony. Yorm I found to be pretty hard too for some reason, even though he was supposed to be easy. I just found it hard to get away from him, to rev up the Stormbreaker every time to hit him. Aldridge of the Deep was probably one of the hardest bosses I fought in the game. He was very, very hard, very annoying. Just being able for him to like burrow underneath ground and then come up and fire like 1,300 arrows at you, and his beam attacks and his like soul mass attacks, and you know, him adding fire at the end. He has like life scythe ability that he uses. He has a spear. He just had too many abilities. The Dancer of the Boreal Valley was also very hard too. That definitely took some getting used to, with how her body bends and moves, especially in the second phase when she just turns into a Beyblade and just loses her mind. Yeah, she does. She turned into a Beyblade because she had like two blades and she would like spin around the room, you know, for like, I want to say like 20 or 30 seconds. Or at least it felt like it. So I'm glad I did that one with Anthony. Dragon Slayer armor was pretty difficult, but for the most part he was fair. It was just hard to beat him because he had his big ass shield that he kept bashing you with, and he had like a lot of overhead strikes. He was able to close the distance. His lightning attacks are very strong, and he had the fucking butterflies dropping like fire bombs from above, so that was annoying. Osiris wasn't that bad. He was a little annoying depending on if it wasn't even his ice attacks, it was his fucking charge attack that did a fuck ton of damage and was kind of hard to get away from. Lothric, the Younger Prince, as well as when you fight them together in the beginning phase, he was a little annoying. When you fought them together, it was very annoying, and I hated the fact that they could teleport. That just made it a lot worse. Ancient Wyvern, that wasn't hard. The only hard part about it was getting around the serpent creatures, and you had to run all the way over there, so that was a little difficult. Nameless King, we already discussed. King of the Storm, was annoying because of the camera angles, but eventually I figured out how to deal with him. Himself, he wasn't too bad once I kind of learned that sticking to the right, more or less, and sticking close to his body, oddly enough, would help you get out of a lot of jams with him. Solo Cinder, wasn't that bad. Yeah, he hit hard, but wasn't anything really surprising about that to me. Again, Journey 2 in current state. Journey 2 can be initiated. From the Shrine Bonfire, if you do not wish to begin now. No. I know that's something new. They started doing that in Dark Souls 2, where you're able to beat the game, and you don't have to go to New Game Plus. You can stay in your current game, and you don't have to necessarily rush off to New Game Plus if you don't want to. I know in the first game, it wasn't like that. Once you beat the game, New Game Plus right away. So, like, you had to play the DLC first in that one, which is kind of why I did it the way I did it in 3 and in 2, where I did the DLC first before finishing the game, and then I beat the game after. So that's, why I did it in that way. Solo Cinder wasn't horrible. Again, I was buffed from the DLC, so I wasn't going to be as hard as it probably would have been. But he had different attacks. He had a blade, like a straight sword. He had a curved sword. He had a lance. He had a great sword. He definitely mixed it up. I'll say that. He added lightning at the end. He had a bunch of fire attacks. He was a good last boss. It's not like he didn't try. I definitely thought he was better than Dark Souls 2's last boss, which was, to be honest with you, kind of on the easy side. I felt like Soul Cinder was definitely better. Honestly, I'd say he's even better than Gwyn from the first game, all things considered. In the trilogy, he probably was the best last boss of the main game, so good on him for that. Sister Fried, fucking hated her. I hated the fact that she can disappear and do that unblockable grab attack, and sometimes you could see her, sometimes you couldn't. She was very quick on her feet. There wasn't much room to hit her. Once I kind of figured out how to get around that and do my charge attack with my lightning spear, made it a little easier. Second phase, not as bad as the first phase in my opinion, but it could still be a little annoying, especially with the father trying to hit you with his fucking cereal bowl. That was a little annoying. But as long as you stuck to him, you were able to kill him. But her last phase, where she had her ice magic mixed with her fucking dark magic and had two sides, was almost unbearable. That last phase was ridiculously hard. Thank God I had Gale as a summon. He really helped a little bit in the second phase, but especially in the third. And he was able to stay alive long enough for me to do a one-on-one with her without her having much health. Champions Gravetender and Gravetender Great Wolf. They were a little annoying, especially since the Gravetender seemed to what's it called? The Gravetender seemed to love to have a pack of 3 wolves to sick on you, and he would stay there. But as you're fighting him and killing him, he has, I think, like, his shield does fire, and he's just like a fucking little mosquito. And as you're trying to kill him, then the Great Wolf comes out, and he's dashing across all the place, and his eyes turn red, and he knows ice magic, and he was a little annoying. Sunlight Spear. Wish I would have got that Dragon Slayer Sword Spear. Really wish I would have got that. Missed out on it. Um, do not have enough faith for this, but I'll grab it anyways. Sunlight Spear. Has to be at 40.
Ashen for the
But yeah,
martyrs,
what was I saying?
for the Ashen prisoners, for all those
Yeah, so they were both kind of annoying to fight together.
Link the first flame. Very well. Then touch the darkness within me.
They were kind of annoying to fight together, and then the demon in pain and the demon from below and the demon prince, they were definitely hard to deal with. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I didn't summon those two guys, I don't know if I would have beaten that boss, because it starts out a gank fight and then becomes a one-on-one with a big ass fucking fire demon. Half-Light Spear of the Church. I beat him first try. I could see how it would probably be annoying, especially since, you know, it could be an online player that comes to attack you, but I beat him first try. It was mildly annoying, but nothing crazy. Dark Eater Midri, fucking horrible. Hated that dragon fight. It was a good dragon fight, don't get me wrong, but his dark attacks, in my opinion, were too powerful. They would literally one-shot you if they even touched you. If they even took a little whiff of you, you died automatically. So I felt like his dark attacks were too powerful. But he was a good fight, and I was able to learn to take one slash and then just back up. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. Don't even stay underneath him. Don't try to go behind him. Stay in front. Hit him. Let him come to you. Then hit him in the head, and then back away. And rinse and repeat. Eventually, you're able to kill him. Slave Knight Gale was a little hard because of his ability to begin Journey 2. It's right there. Because of his ability to what's it called? His ability to contort his body in the air and to kind of like fly, almost glide across the screen with such a big ass greatsword. All right, Danny. Have a good night. All right. What was I saying? Yeah, so he was a little annoying because he was able to do all those acrobatics in the air. Plus, I had to get the timing down with his sword swings. His second and third phase were really annoying with his little boomerang thing. And forget the boomerang, honestly. The arrows, you know, kind of fucked with me. I didn't like that shit. And the fact that when you get him in third phase, his cape, becomes an extension of him, so he could hit you from even further out than before. So you have to change it up on the fly with timing in order to get away from him. I don't want to say I got lucky when I beat him, but I felt like I had a little bit of luck because there were a few times where he would do like a combo, and I would just be doing my charge attack. Was when I was doing like the swing. And I just happened, I guess, swing myself out of the way. So I guess, you know, I guess I was able to be tactical with that somehow. But he was a really good boss fight. The lightning was a little annoying. The fucking executioner glove looking attack, you know, the red souls flying towards me was a little annoying. I guess the only other thing I could really talk about in this game is I did really like the weapon arts. The weapon arts were really cool. I love the homage they paid to 1 and 2 with some of the locations, some of the lore. You know, we're all kind of pointing towards stuff that happened in the first 2 games. Not like directly, but it was definitely spoken about. Like even this lady here, is like the lady from Dark Souls 2, or the ladies from Dark Souls 2 in the very beginning. That's a nod there. Firekeeper, that's just a nod to Demon Souls in general. She kind of looks like the one from Demon Souls, actually, sorta. Andre of Astora, he's from the first game. That's a nod to the first game. A bunch of different nods like that. I appreciate the fact that this game really celebrated the best of what was Dark Souls and improved upon it. Honestly, they did. Locations. I could briefly look at the locations, talk about those. Oh, I also thought it was interesting with the Estus Flask and the focus points. They definitely handled that differently than in the past two games, where you kind of allotted how many Estus Flasks you wanted, how many focus points, potions you want. You know, if you're a big magic user or anything like that, or if you just use them for miracles like I did. Or, you know, dark magic. Kind of did like some of both. Even though I wanted to exclusively do dark magic, but kind of ended up doing some of both. Some of the spells I really liked, like, I love that Power Within came back. That was one of my favorites from the first game. But I liked Dark Blade, Atonement, Gnaw, some of the healing spells I had already used before. Sunlight Spear, Lightning Stake, Divine Pillars of Light was cool. There's a bunch of different locations. Archdragon Peak was definitely really different. And, you know, kind of like a separate secret area in the game. I hated the enemies there, especially the summoners. They were awful. I'm kind of going backwards here, but whatever. Lothric Castle was a little annoying too, especially in the Grand Archives with the little goblins there, and also the fucking Crystal Sage that appeared there, and there were some other enemies in there too that I'm not remembering. And then you also had the Knights, the Lothric Knights, always annoying. Then you had those fucking trio of NPC enemies that really bothered me, and I had to kill them off screen. I hated them. Those two bridge dragon wyvern shits were annoying as well, and also the fucking people posing as regular people, but they're really snake heads, just waiting to kill you. Irithyll Dungeon was annoying because of those ladies that drain your health, and those like creepy little insect things. Yeah, the ones that had like fucking, they look like something you would see in Courage the Cowardly Dog. They just looked gross. Profane Capital, you had the gargoyles, which were a little annoying, but then the ladies that was throwing fire magic was worse. And you had those like multi-limbed creatures with the long hair down in the Poison Swamps area. Really annoying NPC there. Weird baby looking things. That was definitely a gross place to be. Irithyll, those enemies, the night ladies that did the attacks with the curved sword, they were kind of annoying. I really didn't like the knights with the big stake, and they would use fire with it. They were kind of annoying. The enemies that would turn invisible and come back again. Sullivan's beasts were super annoying. I fucking hated them. Especially in the water reserve. God damn. Some of the nights leading up to Anor Londo were definitely not fun. Catacombs, the skeletons are always annoying in each game. That hasn't changed. But then you had some of, like, how do I describe them? They were like these goat things that would try to jump that would try to jump on your head and deal like a ton of damage, and just man, they would try to kick you and grab you, and they were just super annoying, especially the ones that casted poison damage on you. I think it was poison. And then there was also those other demons that would put out the fire orbs, and the fire orbs would attack you. That whole place, the whole Demon Ruins, just sucks. Fucking lightning worm creature leading up to the old Demon King. There were even some Black Knights in there. There was an NPC in there that was really annoying, or Dark Wraith, I should say. The Deacons of the Deep, they had the giants, they had that one spider creature that was disgusting. I wanted him dead. So glad he died. We were in there for a fat minute. I remember that. Trying to figure out how to... Oh, damn, those fucking harpy looking shits that would like literally go like, and then you died. They would just combo the fuck out of you. I hated them in the Roto Sacrifices. The crabs were awful. Hated the crabs. The villagers were whatever. The Black Knights were really hard to kill. So they were Farron Keep and the Keep Ruins. I think around there is where you saw those like big giant wolf swamp people. They were hated them. I think there were also some crabs in there. There was also those goat people there. That whole swamp area is just terrible. This is the area that had some of the little goblin guys. It had the witches that would like light themselves on fire and grab you, and they would also throw dark magic at you. I think those are some of the most notable enemies there. Nothing too notable in this beginning area other than when you get to Osiris, you have the Black Knights, of course, and then some of the regular knights leading up to the to Wart. I'd say that's pretty much all the areas. I thought it was interesting getting to Champion Gundyr. It's Firelink, but in a different time, I believe, or a different space. I forgot how they described it. But is there anything else before I stop that I didn't mention that this game did differently? That was cool. It was cool that they had some different covenants that I'd never been a part of before, like Aldridge, Spirit of the Church, Rosaria's Fingers, Watch Dogs of Farron. They had a couple different new ones. I like how some of the armor pieces, love the Katarina Knight, that he came back. I really liked, I know I didn't finish some of the storylines for some of them, but I really liked the storyline of the thief. He was a really cool guy. I liked the storyline of the princess that I saved, quote unquote, abducted from Egon. He was a hard fight. So the NPCs were done well in this one, just as they usually are. White preacher head. Gross. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun, very frustrating time, and this was the last video of Dark Souls 3, and the next video you'll probably see, that's anything Souls related, more than definitely be Demon Souls. So I'll see you guys for that, maybe tomorrow or the day after, we'll see, and peace.